Wow, it's hot out here. Well, I just finished up at Lake Guntersville, my last FLW tournament, and wow, it was a squeaker. And it was 100 degrees all week this week. Brutal conditions, but this lake is the best bass lake in the country. It's unbelievable. There's so many fish in this lake. There must be millions of fish here, and what a great place to finish the year out. Well, I ended up in 41st place. I was doing really good the first 2 days. I was in 12th, and on the first day I had 21 pounds, 9 ounces. Second day I came in with like 17.8, and I fell down to the 19th place. And I knew going into the last day that I was going to need at least 13 pounds to make a top 50, and I need a top 50 if I'm going to get into the Forest Wood Cup, and I'm going to find out later on this afternoon if I made it in. I ended up finishing 41st. I caught 14.8 yesterday, and I caught one good fish towards about an hour before I weighed in, about a 4-pounder flipping grass that made all the difference. If I didn't have that fish, then I probably wouldn't have finished in the top 50. So, and I fished hard all day. I mean, I kept thinking that, you know what, this is the Cup, this is an opportunity of a lifetime to fish on Lake Lanier, and I kept focused, and I knew I was going to get another bite. I had just lost one in the grass that was probably a 4 or 5 pounder, but it gave me confidence. I didn't let it get to me. It gave me confidence to just keep pitching away, and eventually I ended up catching that 4 pounder and giving myself about a 15-pound bag, which kept me in the top 50, a 110 grand. And the most important thing is that I think I made the Cup, but again, when they weigh in at the end of the day today, I'll know for sure. I caught most of my fish with a kind of a 1-2 pattern. I'd stay out deep in the morning and I'd fish the ledges at about 18 to 25 feet, and I was throwing a 1-ounce football head jig, brown in color, and a Sesteki crawl from Jackal. These are the 4-inch Sesteki crawls. Great bait. I also threw a Zoom Fat Albert Twin Tail too, and I threw that whenever they wanted more action on the jig, but when they wanted a more subtle action, I went with the Sesteki, and I caught some of my best fish on this one. And basically I would just rig it up the jig, and it was a real big meal. I mean, here you're talking, I call this thing the bowling ball. Throw this big old thing out, and I'd let it hit about 13, 14 feet, and I'd sit out about 30, and most of the fish I caught were anywhere from like 15 to down to about 22 foot of water. And this lure did most of my damage throughout the week. And then I would go in shallow a little bit later, around 10 o'clock. I'd either go and I'd flip milfoil, and what I'd do when I did that was I'd throw a 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce Strike King hack attack jig. It's a grass jig with a pocket crawl, and that seemed to do real well when I was flipping the milfoil. And then the other pattern that I had was to take the same jig and skip it up under boat docks later on in the day after the sun was out. And I caught a 5-pounder doing that, and I caught a 4 doing that. So that was key too. So I had kind of a 1-2 punch. It worked out for me. And the great news is I think I'm going to the Cup, and I'm so excited about that. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fish my home lake. That was my goal in the beginning of the year. I did want to finish a little bit higher here at Guntersville. I had my mind set on a top 20 here. I did that the first 2 days, and I fell off on the last day. But you know what? It's still a victory. I get out of here with some cash, and I'm going to the Cup, baby. Awesome.